Hello everyone, this is your professor once again, Danny Araneta Cabulay, for the course Leadership in the Travel Business. This is for my UST students in the College of Tourism and Hospitality Management. So this is video lecture number 1. So we'll talk about one interesting position in the industry called the GM or the General Manager. So everybody aspires to be a GM. So because when you're a GM, you have reached the peak of your career. You can be a GM of a travel agency, a GM of an airline, a GM of a hotel, a GM of a government corporation. Okay, so that's a prestigious position. But how do you become a GM? Who is a general manager? A general manager is an executive who is in charge of an entire strategic business unit, let's say a company, a division, or a conglomerate, or an organization like maybe a business, a professional group, an NGO, a government agency, or international organization. In short, ikaw yung pinakamataas. Okay? So, sometimes the GM is also the president of the company. In some cases, they're different. Okay? So let's focus on the GM. Kasi a GM is basically a leader. He must be a leader. You cannot be effective as a GM if you do not have leadership skills or leadership competencies. So examples of GMs, the General Manager of Okada Manila, the Chief Executive Officer of Ayala Land Incorporated, the President of the Republic of the Philippines is a GM. Yes, yes. And then the Secretary of the Department of Tourism is a General Manager also. The President of COREP, the Council of Hotel and Restaurant Educators of the Philippines, where your teacher, your previous teacher, Ma'am Vanji Timbang, was a national president. Okay? The Chairman of the Board of Bantay Kalikasan, an NGO. The Secretary General of the United Nations World Tourism Organization. And the President of Bistro Holdings Incorporated, a chain of casual dining restaurants. So these are just examples of titles of what a GM could be. Okay? So you see, is a GM a jack of all trades? Yes. He does a lot of things. He's multi-skilled. He's very flexible. Is he a Superman or a Wonder Woman? Yes, he does impossible things. Most often than not, he wows his employees. He is admired by many. He's the last man standing. Yes, he's the last to give up. He never gives up. Okay? He's very resilient and determined. Is he the big boss? Yes, because everybody looks up to him. He makes the final say on a lot of major issues in the company. Is he the chosen one? Yes. The owners of the business, the owners of the company trust the GM. So siya ang hinirang, siya ang pinili, siya ang bukod tanging pinagpala sa organization. Okay? If the owners lose trust on the GM, they'll fire him easily. Okay? Is he the captain of the ship? Yes. Siya ang nagtitimon. Siya ang nagbibigay ng direksyon sa lahat. Okay? So, mahirap pala maging GM kasi ang taas ng expectation sa'yo. What are the functions of a general manager? What does he oversee? Well, basically 4 areas of the company. Operations or production, sales and marketing, finance and accounting, and human resources. That means if you want to be an executive leader in the future in a tourism establishment, you must be good in all these 4 management functions. So you gain little by little expertise through exposure and through studies. Okay, you go back to school. Kaya kung ikaw magte-take ka ng MBA, Master in Business Administration, you're gonna learn all of this. Okay? So, do you want to be a generalist versus a specialist? So, you see, a general manager or executive is deemed to be a specialist. Lahat naman ng managers nag-start as a specialist. Then eventually, they learn the other fields so they become generalist eventually. Preparation to becoming a GM. Okay? An executive leader. So, pag sinabing finance specialist, ano ba yung mga naririnig nating title? CFO, VP Finance, Treasurer, Audit Manager, Financial Controller, Chief Accountant, Compliance Officer, Purchasing Manager. Okay? Pag marketing specialist ka naman, CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, VP Marketing, Business Development Director, Sales Manager, PRO, Public Relations Officer, Head of Advertising, Customer Relations Manager. Pag Operations Specialist ka naman, Chief Operating Officer, VP Operations, Production Manager, Director of Operations, the Executive Chef of a restaurant, yes, Technical Manager, engineering manager, head of quality control, IT manager, etc. Then, kapag HR specialist ka naman, HR director, HR manager, training manager, personal manager, labor relations manager, or labor relations officer, and then sometimes they call it now talent manager. Okay? So these are just titles, okay, of specialists. But eventually, when they broaden their exposure, their experiences, they eventually become generalists. So, competencies in operations, naku, madami yan. Quality assurance and quality control, staff supervision, motivation and leadership, rostering and work allocation, production and operations planning and forecasting, okay? Resource allocation, service or operation standards, infrastructure, technology, facilities and systems, cost control, waste management, sanitation, safety and security. Aba, napakalawak pala ng ginagawa ng head ng operations. So, if you're an executive housekeeper, you're a technical manager, maintenance manager, front office manager, these are the things that you need to work on. And maybe if you're an executive chef, yan, kasama lahat yan. Okay? Now, what about competencies in sales and marketing? Brand management, you manage the portfolio of the company. What are your portfolio of products? Product innovation and development, public and media relations and advocacy, profit planning, business presentations, market research, marketing intelligence, marketing communication, that's the modern term now for advertising, networking, and strategic business development. What are the competencies under human resources? Employee recruitment and selection, interviewing skills, compensation and benefits administration, training and lifelong learning, employee discipline, employee engagement, labor relations. The old name is industrial relations, succession planning, organizational development. What about competencies in finance? General accounting, yan yung gumagawa ng financial statements, cash flow and liquidity to make sure that there's enough money, treasury, managing funds, okay? Credit and collection, statutory requirements, ano yung mga sinasubmit sa gobyerno like BIR, forms, SEC, etc. Cost control and savings, investment portfolio management, procurement and inventory management, audit, also called assurance or compliance, information management, this is the old name, data processing, analysis, and reporting. Okay? Yan ang mga competencies in management. So, ang dami palang pag-aaralan o kailangan matutunan ng isang GM. But it takes years before somebody becomes a GM. Kaya sometimes, pag may namimit ako ng mga GM na 29 years old, 30 years old, wala pa masyadong experiences, sometimes I wonder, are they really good as a GM? Kasi, have they learned all of this in, say, 5 years? Or a little bit more? You know, ako naging GM kasi I was already 32 years old. So, 12 years kong inaral lahat yan. Marketing, HR, operations, everything. No? And finance, of course, that's my second nature because I'm a CPA. But it took me 12 years to learn the other 3 areas that I'm not so good at. Then I became very good at them. Okay, I devoted time to study them, to experience them, to perform the task. Okay? But if somebody is very young, like maybe, 29 years old, 27, tapos GM na siya, sometimes you wonder, are they good? Okay? Baka hilaw pa. Okay? So, we'll do a little diagnostic. I want you to answer the following questions, 10 items, score yourself. I will read out the sentence and then if you strongly agree with the sentence, you score yourself 4. And then if you agree, just 3. If you disagree, it's a 2. If you strongly disagree with the sentence, 1. Okay? Here we go. Here are the 10 sentences. Score yourself. I don't mind working long hours, but I manage my time. Number 2. I have very good communication skills. Number 3. Leading people comes naturally to me. Number 4. I like solving problems and addressing conflicts. Number 5, I am competent in finance, human resources, marketing, and operations management. Number 6, I am willing to learn new technology. Number 7, I am very effective in motivating people. Number 8, I am generally calm, composed, and manage stress. Number 9, I have a broad professional, business, and social network. And number 10, I never compromise my integrity and other values. Okay, if you've scored yourself already in those 10 items, I want you to add up all your scores. So if you've been scoring 4 in all, perfect score is 40. If you've been scoring yourself 1 in all of them, then the lowest possible score is 10. So the score should be between 10 and 40. Let's try to interpret your scores. If you scored 33 to 40, you have an excellent potential to become a GM in the future. But I don't expect that because you're very young. You're still students. So maybe you will score lower than that. Okay? Maybe when you become mature, when you're 25 and above, you might score 33 to 40 already. But not at this stage. Okay? If you scored 25 to 32, you have a high potential to become a GM. Well, some of you might score with between 25 and 32, but not too many, okay? Because you're still too young. You have not yet experienced a lot, okay? You're still students. 17 to 24, yes, possibly. At this stage, some of you will have a moderate potential, okay? 10 to 16, I would not be surprised if some of you are still within this area. That's okay because you're still young. Okay, you're still young. So it's all right to score 10 to 16. That means you have some challenging prospects. So marami ka pang kakaining bigas, yun ang ibig sabihin. And it's good to be honest. It's perfectly all right. I'm not gonna score you in this pop question based on your score. No, I want your honesty. Okay? It's the quality of your answer. So here's pop question number 1. What was your score in the diagnostic? Okay, be honest. Identify the area or areas where you need to improve. Give an example of an action you intend to pursue to improve it. Okay? Yun ang gradean ko. Ano yung action na gagawin mo to improve yourself? Okay? Place your answer in the comment section below the YouTube video not later than Tuesday next week. Okay? So, stay tuned. There's another YouTube video coming up. That's video lecture number 2.